the Spyderco Gayle Bradley 2. The original Gayle Bradley 2 was released a very long time ago, and you know, to modern standards, it's pretty outdated as far as features, but it is still probably one of the best working knives and designs that you'll find. Started with the Gayle Bradley 1, and they did a couple of changes to the outline and the blade, but mostly kept the same design. And it was an M4. I loved everything about that knife as far as it being a user knife, other than like the texture of the scales. But there was a lot of aftermarket options. This one, reintroduced by Spyderco, comes in Cruwear, which is a really amazing steel if you guys haven't used and sharpened it. And even though it's jade, I'm not the biggest fan of jade. It does give you options to color it, but the texturing on this is just honestly perfect to me. It really is. But it fills the hand very well. It rides on washers super smoothly. I mean, this thing has been put to work, but the deployment and the closing is just buttery smooth. Obviously, this isn't gonna be your flicky ball bearing type of knife, but for stabbing, for cutting, for security in hand, I haven't met a lot of knives that match this style, and that's why I love Spyderco. Just a really amazing user knife. And Cruwear, it's a little bit more corrosion resistant than M4. It's just a well-balanced steel. It sharpens pretty well. It keeps an edge very well, and it's very strong. When I first got this, obviously you can tell by the wear and dirt on the scales. There were a lot of microchips, but trust me, if that was any other steel that wasn't as tough as Cruwear, it would be a lot more damage. So this guy, my buddy, put this thing to work. You can tell by the scratches on the satin finish. But other than that, I mean, some big gripes about the Gayle Bradley 2 is number one, liner lock access. But honestly, with gloved hands, or if you're just working with it, I don't think you're going to be in such a rush to close it. That's an issue. I think it's more for modern collectors and you know, collectors and people like that really complain about that. But I mean, you can reach it. It is a little bit harder to get to, but I mean, it works fine. You can tell with that. I do like this, like I said, the change to the scales itself, and the steel choice. I don't think I could have really picked a better one. Cruwear is just top notch, and it takes such a toothy edge, just like M4 does. But I feel like I just prefer this better because it's more balanced. It definitely isn't as rust prone than M4, and it's just, I don't know, you just have to use it. Trust me, Cruwear is the bomb. I like his clip choice, real slim and, you know, not too obtrusive, but it does give it a deep carry option versus the spoon clip that Spyderco usually gets. But I just sharpened this guy up at 16 degrees per side, which is a pretty steep angle, but I mean, this thing can take it. It's Cruwear, guys. Plus, look at that hollow grind. It starts up here with the flats and just gradually gets down to such a nice thin edge all the way to the tip. It's slightly thicker at the tip just for strength, but like I said, this was made to use and abuse and to just be put to work. And there's not a lot of knives in the Spyderco lineup which could, I think, outclass this Gayle Bradley 2 in Spyderco's lineup. And I really just love the steel choice, and that they didn't change anything. Maybe a couple of CQI changes, I don't know. But I mean, it's so smooth. You can still obviously flick it open real easily, and lock is secure with the liner lock. There is no wiggle whatsoever. Either way, there's no play in there, and once you get that liner lock closed, it's just, you just have to feel it. It's like Sebenza level smooth, and the spider hole is radiused enough and contoured enough where it's not biting into your hands. Looks like some of their cheaper, like they're tenacious, but it's sharp enough where you're not going to have any security issues with opening or closing it. So I wish I grabbed onto these. I think they were going for such a ridiculously great price when they were released. If you guys find one and have never handled a Gayle Bradley or just like the design, if you find it at a good price on the secondary, I would definitely grab one. I've been wanting to handle one for a while, and I'm just so stoked this thing came in for sharpening. Like I said, 16-degree edge, and the bevel was still pretty small. I mean, look at that, and you can see it gets a little bit wider at the tip. That's just because they made the tip a little bit thicker, just for stabbing purposes. But this, like I said, I keep reiterating it, but this is an amazing user knife. Makes me wish I never sold my Gayle Bradley too. But, you know, things come, things go, and I'm just very appreciative that I got to put some work onto this one, and I think it's got a lot of miles left, and I can't wait to see it back to me if you want some more work done to it. But, yeah, check it out.